Test, test. Hello, everybody. This is a live emergency briefing as we have got tornado potential happening right now. This is in southern Minnesota, just to the south of this tornado threat. Hello, everybody. This is a live extreme meteorology update as we have a tornado threat that is playing out right now in southern Minnesota. This storm has kind of transitioned into more of an LP type of a structure, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is starting to get elevated just above the very sharp warm front. Incredibly sharp warm front out here with temperatures near 40 just to the north of it. I have to stream using my phone here. Right now to go live, so I do hope that this is working for you guys right now. It looks like Facebook has been having some issues, definitely, with the live stream. Looks like there's definitely not a live stream heading up to my page right now, but this is that tornado threat. This is for Dundee, Northfield area. Right now, Dundas, there is the circulation, and the circulation is definitely weakening with time here. I do believe that this thing is just now starting to lift a little bit north of that boundary. Looking at the temperatures there in Minneapolis, temperatures are near 40 right now in Minneapolis. That's going to be saving grace for the Minneapolis-St. Paul area from this tornado threat. Look what happened to this one. This was an earlier tornado-warned storm. Now it's got an incredibly elongated mesocyclone there. You could barely call it a mesocyclone, but it's a very strongly tilted updraft right there. Really the only storm that has tornado potential was this one. And look at that. We just lost that tornado warning, showing you just how quickly things can happen out here like this. Yeah, I did go on that bike ride. I was going to catch a flight up to Minneapolis early this morning because I was watching the Southern Plains. My plan now is to roll out there for Friday and Saturday, maybe even sample the Colorado snow event, but then it looks like Dixie Alley is going to wake up again on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday next week, so I'll be chasing that as well. So I figured I would just commit to the Southern Plains. I figured that there were too many failure modes with this event here to the south of Minneapolis, and it does look like the tornado warning has just dropped, and it's just as it's heading into Northfield, Minnesota there. Pretty broad, elongated couplet now. This is on the Radar Omega app, and look at that right there. I'm streaming live through Facebook right now with my phone as well. I usually stream to both platforms. That's Gizmo. Gizmo's barking. She's fired up. Temperature here is 64 degrees at my mom's place. Trying to get my mom to go storm chasing too a bit this season. Got this Russian news station that keeps reaching out to me that wants to do an interview on storm chasing. They said I've got a lot of fans over there in Russia, but I'm not sure. They just called me today. I wasn't sure if it was legit. I was wondering if maybe they were trying to hack into my social media pages or something, but no, it is legit. Ren TV or something like that. They might come out and chasing me out in Dixie Alley maybe even next week. I've got to ask for permission from National Geographic, of course. And there is the new tornado warning. Another tornado warning has been added. That is also radar indicated here. New tornado warning for Northfield. So if you're in Northfield, get in your safe place. Just in case there's a circulation just to your southwest that is pretty potent. New tornado warning has been issued. Includes just to the northeast of the Dundas area. But this thing needs to reorganize a bit. There's a very sharp warm front here. Temperatures to the north of the warm front near 40, into the upper 30s even. What in the world? See if that even worked. Yeah, there's something wrong with the some of these social media pages. So I'm going to be committing here to YouTube for a while until those get resolved. But you can definitely see interesting storm here. Dundas up through Northfield. It is tornado warned. There is not a very consolidated mesocyclone right now. Maybe down here near Dundas. That's going to be coming through the Northfield area. You can kind of see this wave pattern with that. It looks to me like this thing is starting to struggle a little bit with that cold air just to the north of that boundary. I thought that this thing was going to have an opportunity to turn to the right here. Looked like it kind of peeled off. There are two right movers that clustered very close together with this as it evolved. Let's expand out. Greater number of frames here and see what happens. There you can see that storm. Look how there are two right movers right next to each other. Right down there. Two right movers right next to each other. The southern one was closer to the warm air on the south side of the warm front. So that southern one tried to peel off and turn off to the right and then produce tornadoes, but it failed to do so. So far, at least. I haven't seen any reports of tornadoes just yet. But this storm here, right along the warm front, does have a chance to turn off to the right, peel off that boundary, maybe head to the north of the Red Wing area there. It's going to stay to the south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. I do think that the tornado threat is going to be reduced in Minneapolis. You're about 40 degrees right now. Saw a pretty incredible photo from this southern storm of a wall cloud crossing over a frozen lake, which was pretty incredible. I think that was a lead storm to one of these lead storms just to the south of Minneapolis where the temperature was about 65 degrees there. Let's take a look at the environment that these things are nested within. My mom just got back. But yeah, I am definitely having trouble figuring out how to live stream to Facebook after they made all those updates. I need to fire up my Twitch account. I'm going to go live on that action. So there is a tornado watch, obviously. That's in effect up there. And that's probably going to be extended into western Wisconsin as well. So here is the surface map. Let me fix this here. This is actually the RAP analysis. So this is a high-resolution model that's run every hour. You can see the position of the surface low here, 998. And it didn't get as deep as the HRRR or the RAP were showing. That was showing a 994 to 995, very compact low moving across southern Minnesota. Looks at least according to the RAP analysis, that it maybe got to about 998, 997 millibars. You can definitely see the circulation there. And let's take a look at the wind shear that's in place here. Look at that big blob of wind shear. 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity of 3 to 400 out there. This is our storm, and you can see it's nested within an area of pretty strong convective inhibition. So this is a very tight warm front here across southern Minnesota. There's that warm front. And there's a lot of convective inhibition even to the south of it. All this blue color, that's negative buoyancy, convective inhibition or CIN, C-I-N there. But that storm is right on the nose of the instability axis, and it does look like it's a little bit north of that instability. It's very close, and it has been close throughout its life cycle. We can kind of step back here a little bit. You can see that there is greater instability, less CIN a bit earlier when this storm formed, just ahead of that triple point. You had some southwesterlies bulging to the south of that surface low, creating a little bit of surface convergence there in central Iowa. And then you have this warm front draped through southern Minnesota there, just to the south of Minneapolis. So that's going to basically keep Minneapolis tornado free. And the instability doesn't quite materialize into western Wisconsin overnight tonight. So I was looking at that HRRR, and it looked like there was going to be a tornado threat coming into the hills there of western Wisconsin. But look at all that blue color. That's a lot of convective inhibition there, moving into western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, into western Wisconsin. And look at how the convection outruns that instability axis when it gets into Wisconsin. You can see that line of convection there, moving out ahead of the instability axis just a little bit. And that's likely going to preclude a tornado threat with this setup. But there's a lot of wind shear out there. So if that storm located on the northwest side of this instability axis just to the east of that surface low is able to turn right and charge into the northern side of that blob of pretty strong 0 to 1 kilometer helicity, then I think that it has a chance there, just on the northwest side of that blob of strong 0 to 1 kilometer helicity there, just to the northwest of it. If that can turn right into the northern side of that blob of stronger wind shear, then that'll have a chance of producing a tornado. Let's look at some of these. You're going to take her out? Okay. I was going to take her out, but I'm live right now, so I'll take her out here in about 5 or 10 minutes if you don't do it. Is that okay? Yeah. Well, you don't have to. I'm saying I can do it in about 5 minutes here. So let's look at the Rochester VAD. Get a good idea of what's going on here in terms of wind shear. Dang, that does not look that great, does it? Got a 1 kilometer wind of about 30 knots there. Surface wind of about 15 knots out of the due south, creating about a 20 to 25 knot shear vector. 2 to 3 kilometer winds out in this location. This is the Des Moines VAD. You can see just a lot of southwest and northeast oriented winds, basically a straight line type of a hodograph there, even behind that convective line a bit. Could say this is kind of behind that pseudo dry line there, and boy, there's not a lot of good representative hodographs here. This is the one in Minneapolis, and you can see the northeasterly winds at the surface. Definitely showing that it's on the cold side of the boundary with those northerlies. Still quite a bit of strong deep layer shear, and that's why we've had some supercells despite being a little bit elevated from that surface layer. You do have 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity in excess of 200 here, but that's on the cold side of the boundary. The RAP analysis is really the best way here of looking to see what the true wind shear is ahead of this storm. Let's go back to the radar and break down this active tornado warning that we've got going on here to the southwest of Minneapolis. It does look like it is trying to form a mesocyclone here just to the north of the Northfield area. And there's the new image. This thing's moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour, but it still does have this nice hook-like appendage here on the southwest side. Sometimes when you get these multiple little inflow notches here, it definitely means that that thing is in the process of getting elevated. Let's take a look at the velocity, super res velocity here. Let's see if we can find out where that couplet's located. And it looks pretty diffuse. A little bit of clutter action here. That's likely not representative. Really what you've got is your mesocyclone kind of like this to the northeast of Northfield. Definitely not as tight as it was before. You kind of have this broad mesocyclone here to the northeast of Northfield, moving off to the northeast, but still enough to prompt that tornado warning. Storms off to the north, pretty elongated, just kind of a convergent zone up here. Definitely an elevated storm to the north of that boundary. That's to the south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And again, my plan is to head out tomorrow to chase Friday and Saturday in the Southern Plains, Friday in West Texas, Saturday in Oklahoma, Sunday portions of Dixie Alley, and then probably a day off on Monday, and then another system comes in on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be chasing that as well. So a lot of storm chasing ahead. I wanted to do a live update here to break down this tornado threat that is ongoing right now in southern Minnesota.